course, and story-wise.
Hello, welcome back, everyone. This is the Lion Ben C. We're playing The Park. We just finished Just Ignore Them, got the bad ending, but that happens. And now we're gonna go ahead and play The Park. Oh, also, if Just Ignore Us gets 3 likes and anybody asks, I will play it next week and get the good ending. So, if you're interested in seeing the good ending, just let me know. All right. Here we go. Yes, I want to start a new game. I've already fully beaten this game, so. The Park is a narrative experience, best played in a dark room while wearing headphones. Well, I have the headphones. It deals with subject matters that may be disturbing to some players. During the course of play, it gets freaky. Joke's on the Park. I don't have any sanity for it to play with. That's what Evil Twin said.
In my heart and mind,
Funcom Games.
Return to Atlantic Island Park.
Where's Mr. Bear?
I haven't seen Mr. Bear, Callum. Stay in the car. We'll go and ask information.
Punk.
Attention, patrons. The park is now closed. Please make your way to the car park at your earliest convenience. Employees prepare the park for shutdown.
Drink too much,
Lorraine.
damn it.
Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time. Take a deep breath. Think about the last place you saw your son's teddy bear. Hey, stop! I think your boy just ran into the park. I'll unlock the gates for you.
How did he know I'm here to get that? I didn't say nothing to him.
There's something special about the entrance to an amusement park. A line drawn between the real world and the world of whimsy within. On this side, the apathy of our everyday lives. And on the other, anything we might dare to dream. It's no wonder Callum ran back inside. I wouldn't want to leave either.
Attention, employees. The park is now closed. Have a safe journey home.
I love the park decaying as you're doing this. Also, every parent in the world would have said the same thing. You better be waiting for me when I get on the top of the stairs.
Oh God. The park. What happened here? It's easy to get lost here.
You better get your ass back here, kid. Did he just like vanish? No, there he is.
I
Said
think
to
this
examine
belongs to
something.
Kelm. Chad the Chipmunk, huh? Just a drunk guy in a suit. I wonder what this is.
Purchased the land on Solemn Island for pittance. I might add, whatever did Archie Henderson did to the locals, just the mention of his name had people slamming doors and locking shutters the moment I arrived on the island. My lawyers had arranged everything in advance, but the realtor still had to come and deliver the keys to me personally. He took it upon himself to offer me another warning. I don't know what you're planning to do with this land, Mr. Winter, but the soil here is bitter with a curse carried from the old country. Old man Henderson, he did terrible dark things. The land remembers, sir. I dismissed him shortly after, mostly amused by his pathetic attempts at warning me off. I have a great vision for this place, and the will to see that vision through to the very end. Atlantic Island Park. The name is perfect, and I can't imagine it being anything else. This is the start of something amazing. Anybody else hear that?
Callum, stay where you are.
Come on, Mommy.
Let me in, let me in, let me in.
Near a great forest, there lived a poor woodcutter, his wife and his 2 children. A boy named Hansel and a girl named Gretel. They were very poor and had very little to bite or sup. What will become of us? The woodcutter asked his wife one night. I tell you what, husband, we will take the children into the thickest part of the forest tomorrow and abandon them there. No, my wife, I cannot do that, said the man. Then we will all 4 starve, you fool. Hansel and Gretel overheard their parents talking, and Gretel began to weep. Do not fret, Gretel, Hansel said. He crept out of the hut and gathered white stones from the ground to fill his pockets. The next morning, the woodcutter leads the children into the forest. Before they leave, their mother gives them a slice of bread and warns them that they will get no more food that day. Clever Hansel leaves a trail of white stones behind them as they pass into the woods. When their father leaves them, the children wait a while, then follow the trail back to their parents' house. After receiving a thorough scolding from their parents for getting lost in the woods, the children are sent to bed without any supper. Hansel tried to sneak out and collect more white stones, but found that the door was locked. "Tomorrow I will take them into the woods myself," the wife told the woodcutter. In the morning, their mother gave them a slice of bread and led them deep into the forest once again. Hansel broke his bread into pieces and left a trail of breadcrumbs to lead them safely home. But hungry-eyed birds snatched up the breadcrumbs and his trail was destroyed. Abandoned by their parents and unable to find the trail home, the children wandered in the forest for 3 days.
Well, they died of lack of water.
The children stumbled into a clearing with an exceedingly strange house. Its walls were made of gingerbread, and its windows were panes of clear sugar. Hansel,
There's Walter Brimley's house.
ran forward.
Don't come here. We got diabetes.
Nibble, nibble, little mouse. Who is nibbling at my house? An old woman emerged from the house, sniffing the air and peering around with cloudy eyes. "Oh, you dear children, who brought you here? Just come in and stay with me. No harm will come to you." But Hansel and Gretel stayed back, for the old woman reminded them of their cruel mother. "Come, children, don't be afraid. I have something for
My name's Dolores Umbridge.
The old woman offered them 2 enormous lollipops. The children took them and began to eat. "You see, nothing to fear here. Come inside," the old woman urged, and the children, still licking their sweets, followed.
I'm gonna need you to write with this quill. Don't worry about it.
Once inside the house, the old woman changed. She stuffed Hansel into a cage and put Gretel to work, sweeping and cleaning her hut. "Your brother will make a good mouthful," the old witch told Gretel. "Once he is fattened up, I shall feast upon him." Time passed, and poor Hansel refused to eat, fearing the day that the witch would eat him. The witch, for her part, grew impatient. "Today I will cook and eat your brother, Gretel. Climb inside and light the oven." But Gretel pretended not to understand. "I do not know how. Where is the opening?" "Fool!" the old witch said. "The opening is here!" And she moved to show Gretel. Seizing her courage, brave Gretel gave the witch a shove, and the old crone tumbled forward into the oven. Gretel slid a large iron bolt over the door to the oven. Gretel freed her brother Hansel, and together they lit a fire beneath the oven. And though she screamed and begged, the children sat by the oven until her screams had stilled and the witch was cooked.
Because that's a wonderful story to tell children.
Can't survive on sweets. They divided up the body of the old witch and ate her.
And cannibalism! Yay! Look at the swan. Yes, because that is the story we want to tell. We want to promote in our family
Hansel and
park.
Gretel. I used to read it to Callum when the electricity was shut off. Those poor children. The whole world against them. The forest, the birds, the old witch, even their own parents. I used to imagine that Callum and I were the kids in that story. Not mother and son, but brother and sister, hand in hand against the unkind world. We were always hungry, looking for our own house made of candy, looking for the sweetness that could take the pain away. Hunger leads people to desperate, terrible places where the tree branches reach like claws.
Also a little worried that you see
Another
your
accident. This place.
son as your brother and not as your, son. Despite the constant interruptions to work, Atlantic Island Park is operating on time. The governor is booked to cut the ribbon, so the only real question is whether we will have any customers. I'm not truly worried. The customers will come out of simple curiosity. I deduced what was needed from the banned writings of Archie Henderson. It's astonishing to think that a resonance of positive emotion can be used to fuel such a process. Henderson himself chose to use negative, and that caused some of the taint that still lingers in this place. I will not make his mistake. Very soon I will know if it has all been for nothing. I want the teddy bear. Oh, shite. Did anybody notice the eye of the teddy bear? That's why you wear your seatbelt, kids. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, guess where we're going next? That's right, children.
This old thing used to make the blood run to my head. Make me dizzy. The guy just snapped. Those poor kids.
Eyewitness report. Atlantic Island incident. Officer on duty, Sheriff F. Bannerman. Witness's name, Creed Norma. Statement. We were waiting for our turn on the ride. Frank, me, and the boys. The fellow in the chipmunk suit is making an ice carving while people took photographs. Lawrence wanted to go over to him, but I always been a bit wary of those suits. They give me the creeps. It's silly, I know. Anyway, the chipmunk man, he's carving and picking away at the ice. At first we thought he was making some animal like a tiger or a lion. But as more and more ice fell away, when you first looked, it was a human face, smiling out of that block of ice. But the more you looked at it, the more you saw that there was something not quite right about the proportions. Something unnatural that made your heart begin to beat just a little bit faster. Like you were prey and that thing was the hunter. But then these teenagers walked up and one of them made a face at the carving and said something rude to the guy in the chipmunk suit, and then, well, he went berserk. For a few moments it was chaos, everybody running away from the guy who had one of the teenagers on the ground, and he stabbing with the ice pick, and blood was spraying and people were screaming, and Frank and I had the kids and we were dragging them away as fast as we could. The last thing I saw before Frank dragged me away was the eyeball of that poor kid landed on the ice sculpture, making the horrible creature look more or less alive. Whoo! Yeah. Let this be a lesson to you, children. We do not play with the people in the mascot costumes.
I can't get on while it's moving.
Yep, you gotta go in here and decrease speed. Now, it's really important that we pay attention as we're doing this ride. The question is, who's controlling it? Oh, and while you're doing the thing, it looked like one of the carts flies off. In fact, I think if we walk around, we can find it. Might be wrong.
Treachery hides in thoughts. Treachery that lashes like a whip and scars our insides. The first time I saw Callum, my thoughts betrayed me. I looked down at this wrinkled, red, bawling thing and I thought, is that it? We build our world from expectations, and the world that I had built for Callum was no different. He was so real, so there, and so far from my expectations. And they shattered. And as they fell in pieces, that one treacherous thought became a new foundation. All of the love that we shared, all of the warmth and goodness that followed, built on a single, traitorous thought.
I thought working in the park for a summer would would be a lot of fun, but the end of the season here really drags. There aren't many tourists around, and so most of the staff spends their day standing around gossiping, and most of that gossip is about Chad. I mean Steve, see? Even I'm starting to call him Chad, and I went to school with the guy. It's that goddamn suit. In the beginning, it was a laugh. Steve, the local lush, as Chad the Chipmunk. Child-friendly mascot of Atlantic Island Park. Lock up your daughters and all of that. But the more he wears that suit, the weirder Steve is getting. At first, it was little things, like refusing to change out of the suit at work and taking it home with him every day. But then I saw him at Susie's Diner, still wearing it. And it wasn't even a work day. Some of the staff complained discreetly to the park management about the smell, and I saw him walking and talking with Mr. Winter, the owner, one day. But nothing seems to have changed. The suit still smells like a carcass whenever Steve walks by, and apparently Steve has picked up some new skills since the last time I saw him. Puking up in a gutter outside Scoil Station, because he sure as hell can carve a mean ice sculpture. Those shapes he makes in the ice, though, they give me the creeps. Steve came by the booth today, lucky me, and he just hung around for a while. I couldn't really tell because of the suit, but it seemed like he was staring at me, sizing me up, fucking me, whatever he was doing. I asked him what he wanted, and he just stood there not saying anything. Eventually, I called my supervisor, and when he came by, Steve, wandered off. My supervisor told me to put everything in writing, so here it is. Also, I quit. I don't want to see that chipmunk suit ever again. Laura Henman. Whoa! Alrighty then. I'm just gonna pick my heart up and put it somewhere else.
Constant crashes and 80s music. Guess it floats someone's boat.
What do I feel like I'm a step away from asking Dr. Mendelsohn? Is it safe? Oh, I don't know if I like this. Yeah, I think we're gonna get off of this.
What's this?
Nathaniel Winter, financial genius or eccentric geriatric? When Nathaniel Winter, billionaire mogul, announced his intention to build an amusement park on the fog-shrouded shores of Solomon Island off the coast of New England, there were sniggers up and down Wall Street. Winter, who has made his fortune through a series of savvy investments during the post-war boom, had long been considered an eccentric but brilliant man. His passion for the New England region has always been at the forefront of his investment portfolio, with him pouring funds into local businesses, small and large. In general, his business sense and investments have paid off, and due to his generosity, Winter enjoys a friendly relationship with the governor and other key political figures. So why, with a track record like that, are the Wall Street wizards shaking their heads? At first glance, Solomon Island is an odd choice, a tiny town called Kingsmouth, with a sleepy main street, a preppy academy for dropouts from Boston, a lighthouse that's already in the process of being automated, and a belligerent tribe of natives who were very recently involved in a dispute over the Blue Ridge mines. Don't make sense, one commenter pointed out. New England has a short summer this far north, and the number of visitors to Solomon Island per season are limited. I don't see how he expects to turn a profit. But others have far more faith in Winter. Under condition of anonymity, an engineer who has seen the plans for the park notes several anomalies. He's digging far deeper than is needed for an amusement park, including several underground chambers which are too small to house machinery. If you ask me, the old man is looking for something buried beneath the island itself. Could this be the real reason that the eccentric businessman has relocated to this remote northern island? Is this corporate misdirection of the highest order by a crafty entrepreneur? With the disputes over the Blue Ridge mine with the native population ongoing, there's definitely something buried beneath Solomon Island. Perhaps Nathaniel Winter is going to surprise us all. Dissuade them. They have sent an inspector to investigate the accidents at the park. I've given him the grand tour and spoken about all our safety upgrades, but he seems unconvinced. In this case, the park itself is working against me. This dour man has become more and more intractable the more time he spends in the park. I've offered to pay for his stay in the Overlook Hotel to get him out of here. It seems to have made him even more paranoid. I don't think this man is going to allow my park to stay open. This is a disaster for my ultimate goals. I know I'm supposed to get down. How am I supposed to get down? It won't let me.
Stop! Callum!
I don't know how to get down
Not playing
to...
anymore, Callum.
Yeah, that isn't creepy at all.
Come back, Callum.
Mother duck said quack, 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 quack.
Alright, we gotta find another way to go. Or can I not go because I didn't go over to the okay, we have to go around. So gotta go back to the Octotron. Frustrated by the fact that the plans seem incomplete. I know as well as anybody that the rules of the game can be changed with enough money, but no matter how much money talks, it can't conjure up missing plans from thin air. I've tried contacting the organization who sold me these plans, and they are stonewalling me. Every contact that I have that I had, every meeting place that I've had watched are swept bare. I have a sinking feeling that I'm being swindled. We've gone ahead with what we could find with the plans regardless. The harvesting machines, the transport mechanisms, etc. I'll probably let Nicholson name them something cute for the day we open the park. They'll be rides after all. Okay, so I can't go that way. Okay, I can't get to the Ferris wheel this way. You have to go through the bumper cars. Giving a wide berth to that one place where the scary woman was. Not gonna lie, that made me jump so hard. Maybe there's something over here. Oh, that is so creepy. If you've ever been around any kind of old light structure, examine accident report. Oh, Lord. Employee's name, Francis Dufresne. Time and date of the accident incident, 25 October 1976. Job titles and departments, labor working on the crane. Supervisor, lead person, Richard Stapleton. Witnesses, Lawrence Creed, Michael Edgeworth. Brief description of the accident or incident. During the transport of the bumper car rides into the arena, one of the straps attaching the load to the truck came untied, causing a cascade of bumper cars onto Francis, who was standing directing the driver. Francis was crushed by the weight of the cars. Described any injuries. Francis was killed. Did the injuries employee see a doctor? Yes. If yes, did you file An employee's portion of workers' compensation form, yes. Supervisor's comments. Dexter, the truck driver, claims to have seen someone at the back of the load undoing the straps. Nobody else reported seeing that. The sheriff has requested that Dexter provide them with urine samples. What could have been done to prevent the accident incident? Double checking the straps after transit should be mandatory, and drug screenings for all drivers. Have the unsafe conditions been corrected? No. Employee or supervisor signature. Additional comments, notes. The local laborers are very superstitious, and this hasn't helped. Some of them are refusing to return to work until we have someone from the local church walk the park and exorcise the spirits. Oh boy. Uncle Bad Touch No. Why am I walking towards the thing that just tried to kill me? Well, okay.
It's a matter of public record that I am a failure as a mother. Once, when Callum was very small, I left him asleep in the car while I ran an errand. Don't even remember what it was. When I came back, the sheriff was standing next to the car, watching my boy through the window. I didn't like what I saw in his eyes. Judgment. He wrote me the ticket without saying a word. Just the scratch of his pen on the notepad. When he gave it to me, our eyes met. I know what you're going through. My daughter, Helen, she just gets some help. Help was a bolt of lightning. Help was 1,000 volts surging through my veins. Help is agony. I'd rather die. I wanted to scream. I'd rather you pulled your gun and shot me. But instead my mouth said, yes, Sheriff.
Oh boy. Can you guess where we're going next? Continually delayed by the incompetence of the builders. The problem is that they are locals, and so they believe a lot of rumors about what Old Man Henderson used to do here. They grew up with those tales. Every time a bolt comes loose or a wrench goes missing, those fools are crossing themselves against the black magic. Of course, that's why I chose the site over other potentials. Solomon Island is the nexus for dark energies, and the thoughts of all that power just dissipating beneath the earth here. It makes my skin crawl. I called in a few favors back in Brooklyn and got someone at the local academy to see if they had any interesting books about local history. Turns out they do, and it turns out that Old Man Henderson had some pretty strong connections to the Brooklyn crowd. Perhaps something he wrote will help me find the piece of the plans I'm missing. Oh, who thinks this is going to be bad? I think this is going to be bad. That's what I'm feeling right now.
So they are going to close this place down. Doesn't surprise me.
State Bureau of Fair Ride Inspections, Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, State Inspected Report. In 1980, unsafe, closed the park. Inspector connects. After touring the park, riding the rides, and viewing the startling numbers of incidents suffered here in the park, it is this inspector's opinion that Atlantic Island Park should be shut down until Nathaniel Winter complies with all safety regulations. While I understand that there is a sensitive political relationship between Mr. Winter and the senator, I nevertheless suggest that such political consideration be set aside in condemning Atlantic Island Park. The rides at first glance appear well constructed and manufactured, but the sheer number of incidents in the park during the last few years and during construction lead me to believe that there is something wrong at the base level of construction, and we should close the park and fully investigate these flaws. To wit, here is a partial list of the fatalities in the park since opening only 2 years ago. Family of 3 killed when a roller coaster cart derailed. 14 separate incidents of broken bones and crushed ribs while riding the Octotron. 3 suicide from the top of the Ferris wheel. A child seriously injured on the escalator. Over a dozen children reportedly missing in the House of Horror since its construction. 1 reported drowning in the Tunnel of Tales. The sheer volume of incidents means that it is my strongest recommendation that Atlantic Island Park is closed immediately. Here we go. Who wants to bet what the freaky thing on this one's gonna be?
People come into your life for a reason. Dad used to say that before Mom ran off. After that, he mostly just drank. Things were different for Don and I. When we met, I was sweeping the floor at Susie's diner. He came in with some workers, but he didn't try to flirt or cop a feel like the others. He just ordered a coffee and sat there, watching me. When my shift was over, he offered to walk me home. I don't know how to describe that walk. We talked and laughed and eventually kissed. It felt like love. It felt like a fairy tale. I can't tell you if Callum was made that night or one of the ones that followed. But I think it has to be that night. That one perfect night. Dawn and I moved in together, but then, well, he died. According to the supervisor, his safety harness failed when he was working on the top of the Ferris wheel. Dawn was there one moment, and then gone. Sometimes people leave your life for no reason. I was 3 months pregnant with Callum. Fairy tale fucking over.
Did you see what I just saw? Controlling the ride? Oh boy. We're going the other way because we are going to ride on the roller coaster. We're just going this way real fast to make sure we didn't leave any notes or something this way near the Octotron on this side. Oh. Okay. I guess they want me to go this way now.
A lot of people idolize their children. You hear them talking about their kids and just the way they talk, their fucking voices make me want to vomit. My angel likes to read, and little Johnny is so good on the piano. Fuck those people! You give up 9 months of your life carrying them, you traumatize yourself giving birth to them, and then you spend the rest of your life as their slave. Wiping asses, mopping up piss, feeding them. Little life-sucking monsters who take and take and take until... we all go insane. Any parent who pretends otherwise is just dishonest. That's called choice supportive bias. I am honest. Callum really grinds my gears, and he owes me everything. Everything. It'd serve the little fuck right if I just abandoned him.
The views expressed in this game are not the views of the person doing the streaming, just so we all know.
I always wanted to ride this one. Never got around to do it before.
Here we go.
What do you want?
We need to talk about Callum.
What do you mean? What have you done to him?
That's insulting. You and your boy are everything that this place doesn't want. The antithesis of what we stand for.
Where is Callum?
Poor child. He tried so hard to do what he was taught. He even left you a trail of breadcrumbs. But the park is just so hungry.
Tell me where my son is.
The witch has him now. Has both of you. No happy ending here, I'm afraid.
Just leave me alone.
Fool. You always were.
It works. The calculations and adjustments work. The transport and storage mechanisms seem to be flawless. What a wonderful day. If only these people knew what they were fueling. And so what if a few people leave the park at the end of the day feeling dour? So what if the children are more scared than excited on the roller coaster? This could be the doorway to immortality, and such doorways open only to those who have the will to find the key. 2 games about people playing around with immortality.
The witch awaits. Callum has bruises on his arms, finger marks. Someone has been hurting him. I've asked him, demanded really, to know where he got the marks. But he doesn't want to answer me. Something has scared him into silence. He doesn't dare talk. He's been changing too. Something sinister lurks in the darkness behind his eyes. I catch him staring at me at odd moments. In the night, he tosses and turns and cries out words that I cannot understand. When I try to soothe him, he snaps and bites at my fingers. I think he wants to talk to me. I think he wants to tell me. But they are watching him every minute of every day. They are whispering to him in his sleep, changing him. They are taking my baby away from me. I can save him. And there will be pain. But I love him, and in the end, he will understand why. The whole town was shocked by that one. Never found out who did it.
Cotton candy corpse leaves sour taste in park goers' mouths. Yesterday evening, visitors to Atlantic Island Park are shocked and horrified by the discovery of a dismembered corpse behind the cotton candy stand. According to the local authorities, the corpse is yet to be identified. However, they can confirm the remains appear to be those of a child. The corpse was discovered by a group of teenagers from Innsmouth Academy who noticed a pair of ravens tugging at something just out of sight behind the shack. Nathaniel Winter, the owner of Atlantic Island Park, has released the following statement. It is a true tragedy that something like this has occurred, especially in the place that was designed to bring forth happiness and joy. The staff of Atlantic Island Park offer their condolences to the family and friends of the victim and will cooperate fully with authorities to help bring this case to rest. The Solomon Chronicle will provide daily updates on the story going forward. The reason I stopped reading, for those who don't know, Innsmouth is from Cthulhu. I mean, maybe there's an actual Innsmouth, but every time I've ever heard Innsmouth, it's been in relation to Cthulhu. Oh, there's way too many ambient noises in here for this to be good. Oh.
Poor bastard. Who did this to him?
Beware of flashing lights. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like this at all. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. There's now something on this.
These are mine.
Not safe.
Don't touch me.
The park is a collage of contradictions all of its own. Millions of people die every year in car crashes, and the park has little cars designed specifically to simulate that action. Hear the children scream with joy. In the sideshow alley, you can walk away with 15 cents worth of mass-produced Chinese teddy bears, while a grinning carny pockets your hard-earned $5. What secrets lie beneath the sullen waters of the lake? The tears of jilted lovers, the soiled condoms of illicit affairs, the clotted blood of the lonely suicide. And the face of the witch looms over it all. I've always despised her toothy grin and warty nose. I hate that sparkle in her weathered, watchful eyes. I think Callum is waiting for me. Inside.
I think you done gone off the deep end, lady. Here we go. Done. Atlantic Island Park has closed its gates. A jeering throng of townsfolk gathered as we hung the heavy iron padlock on the gates. Small-minded fools, scared of what they don't understand. My machines lie silent and dejected, but I'm not beaten. I have sent my wife and son back to Boston, and I've retreated here to the House of Horrors. I must think.
Please, make me stay. Make me stay.
Okay, the little pop-up made me jump. Oh boy. Probably because the tension is so high right now. Why did he lay... What? No, it's gone. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. No, no. After this, we'll play Benny and the Ink Machine, so we get terrified by more. No. Oh, this feels like something bad's gonna jump out. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember which way I came from. Oh, this isn't good. Did I come from over here? Yes, I came from over there. So this way. There's another wolf. Oh, Lord. Okay, okay. Come on.
One little duck went out one day.
The Nightmare Circus. A circus burns to the ground on opening night, killing dozens. The owner is put to death by an enraged mob of townfolks, just as he shouts out a curse. Now Raven, a dark-souled wanderer, comes to the ruins at dusk in search of his missing mother. Let the show begin. I don't know, I'd actually kind of read that book. I ain't gonna lie.
After they let me out, they gave me Callum back and sent me home with a handful of breadcrumbs. Home, bittersweet home. I barely recognized it. Where there had been color and light, there were shadows and regrets. Where there had been warmth, there was a bone-deep coldness that never went away. I tried my hardest to keep the ghosts at bay. Don, watching from the dusty corners while I tried to teach his son to read. My father, coldly assessing me and finding me lacking. I devoted myself to Callum and did the things that they told me. It will get better, they said. Every day will be a little better than the last. I'm in the woods now, lost and afraid. Things never got any better.
Disconnect notice. After multiple attempts to collect payment, we regret to inform you that your services have been disconnected or will be disconnected shortly. Please do the following. Make payment listed on your last bill. Contact us if you believe this is an error. If you're unable to make payment, please contact your local welfare office to discuss a placement for you and your loved ones. Winter in Maine is cold and brutal. Don't face it without electricity. Dunwich Power. The Dunwich Horrors. Once again, this is another reference to H.P. Lovecraft. Hunger. The True Story of the Donners. On April 16th, 1846, a group of covered wagons began the 2,500-mile journey to California. Just 8 months later, they found themselves stranded in the Sierra Nevada mountains with very little to bite or sup. It was to become one of the greatest tragedies of westward migration that the world has ever seen. Now our panel of Donner experts have uncovered compelling evidence that the families were forced to resort to cannibalism in order to survive the terrible winter. In this never-before-seen expose, read about how the Donner children were forced to eat their brothers and sisters in order to survive. All here in the pages of this shocking true story. The Wilting. With this novel, Susan Abercrombie cements her place as one of the most important science fiction writers of a generation. The Wilting. A solar flare has struck the Earth. Millions of people are uprooted from their homes. A young meteorologist searches desperately for a way to stop global overheating. An exotic dancer named Chance O'Hara is the key to saving the world again. Dynamic, exciting, bombastic, everything we've come to expect from an Abercrombie novel. Chance O'Hara is back, and you better believe that she is bigger, better, and bittier than ever. Oh, excuse me. Shopping list. Milk, cheese, bread, butter, corn, potatoes, apple, fish sticks. Remember, drop off Callum, electric bill, fix faucet. Examine wrench. Miss Mallard, we agreed in our meeting today. We consider you fully recovered from your illness. This letter is official notification that you are considered sound of mind and body and may return to work at any time. Please note that you should discontinue any medication that you've been using and dispose of any remaining medicines. If you feel that at any time that you are suffering a relapse, then please make contact with your local physician immediately. We wish you continued health. Lorraine, I received your letter and I am quite surprised. You ran off with your father all those years ago, then disappeared off the edge of the map, and then, when I finally tracked you down, refused to answer any of my letters. And now you write to me asking for help. I have another family now and another life. Your father was a horrible man, and I regret the years that I wasted with him. I loved you, I truly did. But every year you grew more and more like him. You were his girl, never really mine. Still, I would have fought for custody if you hadn't run away with him. It broke my heart, but I needed to go on living. I can't let you back into my life without picking open old wounds. I'm sorry, Lorraine, but I just can't do it. Maybe one day it'll be easier and I can meet Callum, but not yet. I am not ready to forgive you. Please don't contact me again, Karen. Of course it's a Karen. Miss Mallard, our inquiry into the estate of Donald Williams has been complete. We regret to inform you that the primary beneficiaries of his estate, including the life insurance settlement for accidental death, were listed as Rose Williams and Rich Williams of New York State, the deceased parents. Our agency made contact with Mr. and Mrs. Williams and explained your situation, especially as regarding the birth of Donald's son Callum. Unfortunately, they are not receptive to our overtures, and they specified that without any legal proof of biological relationship, they consider you ineligible to receive any of the monies from Donald's estate. They have asked that we no longer contact them regarding this matter. I understand that this may not be a negative impact on your current financial situation, and I hope that I'm not being too forward when I enclose the bill for our services for this letter. And now, just like PT, you begin to cycle through. Her medication. Lorraine, things aren't right between us at the moment. I know. I want to try and explain it. I think it is because I am so far from home. I'm working so hard. Every day working at the park, it gets worse. Like a spring inside my mind wound tighter and tighter and tighter. When we go for drinks after work, it gets a little better. The guys relax and we laugh and we're good people again. I don't want to come home to you without being in my right mind. But when this job is done, we need to get out of this place. We need to go back to the city where I don't feel like this anymore. I love you, Donald. P.S. I was thinking about names for boys and girls. I like Callum for a boy, and Emma if it's a girl. More medication bottles. Zoloft prescription. Remember, take the pills, follow up with Dr. Spencer, organizer, babysitter for Callum. It's the same letter from Karen, but now scribbled writing. I didn't run away. Dad took me. Thank you, William, for the new watch. It's really nice. It made me a happy carrot. And we descend once again. The painting is now dark. Hunger, the true story of Hansel and Gretel. A long time ago in a forest in the woods, it's Hansel and Gretel at the bottom. It's all here on the page of this shockingly fake story. Hold up, I wonder if this book changed too. A chipmunk goes stab, stab, stabbity in the eyes, jab, jab, jabbing, and it's all the townsies grab, grab, grabbing. Just lie down and let it happen. Zoloff between everything. Blood going into a room. The letter more and more torn up. Picture of the monster we've been seeing. And we descend one more time. A boogeyman goes walk, walk, walking, sneak, stealing, a stalk, stalk, stalking. Is he really a talk, talk, talking? Now is not the time for balking. His cap now covered in blood. See her try. It's nothing but the prescription. Remember, you are all alone. No one loves you. Callum is no longer who he once was. Oh, that's not good. I would like out now. I don't want to turn around. There's something scary behind me. Oh, now the house is trashed. Outstanding. That's a lot of blood. And a fire.
Stories are told again and again, and from their shape we build our understanding of the world. Two children are led into the woods. They are lost for a time, but then are captured by an old witch. The child goes missing in Atlantic Island Park. He wanders lost for a time before finding his way into the mouth of an old witch. In the oldest version of this story, the mother and the witch were the same person. I never wanted to be the witch. But I am, aren't I?
Kids broke in today. It's been so long since I heard laughter, so very long. I took one of them. Couldn't help myself. It was fast. The others didn't notice. I like hearing him laugh, this boy from the academy. I put him on a slab. I tickled him until he couldn't breathe. My machines came to life, whirling in time to his gasps and shrieks. I think this is delightful. The change wrought in me by the machines is not yet complete. There must be other children I can lay on my slab. Hansel and Gretel.
Callum. Callum. Callum.
He's wearing a Cthulhu shirt.
Hey, Lorraine. Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time. Take a deep breath and think about the last place you saw your son.
In my heart and mind, I always return to Atlantic Island Park.
And there we go. The end of the game. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here. Nice little fun, spooky game. Such a dark ending. It really is. So tomorrow we are playing more of Borderlands the pre-sequel, and then Sunday will be more of Fatal Frame, Mado and Blackwater. If you want to see the good ending on Just Ignore Them, let me know, and I will make sure to do that for next Friday. You just gotta put something in. If it gets 3 likes and some comments, that's what will happen. If not, we'll move on to the next game. So, I want to thank everybody for checking out this stream. This is, of course, going to go up on YouTube, and I hope everybody enjoys it, and you all have a nice day.